Guys, the Life Pro is back in stock. I know many of you have asked about getting a deal on this, and I think last time it was sold out, some of you settled for the Costco sauna that didn't have the sidewall heaters or the floor heaters, a little cold on the bottom. As you know, I recommend the Life Pro if you're looking for an affordable one person. This is pretty cheap though. This is $1,631.99 based on my checking the cart. You can use code SAUNA20 to activate this deal. I don't know the specifics on how many are in stock, how long they're going to have, this exact one. I just know that group members were trying to buy one before, and you asked to alert whenever they had a sale or had a replenishment of inventory. So I checked it today. It looks like this deal is still on. If you look at the FLIR footage from some of the review videos, you can see why, like a Costco sauna has a bunch of blue areas. Those are cold spots. If you look at the Life Pro, it's the closest thing to a high-end $5,000, sauna heater layout. And that's why this performs a little bit better. It doesn't leave your lower half, cold. Is it perfect? No. Go look at my review videos. I don't make it out to be anything other than, a better performing sauna than something for the same price like at Costco or Amazon or Wayfair, all the other ones. But if you're on a budget, what other option do you have? Some build quality stuff isn't perfect. I don't like how the heaters weren't capped off in the original thing. Now that we're testing the Cozy, they're making improvements. They're constantly innovating, I think. All that stuff that I kind of complain about has been fixed, on the Cozy. But the Cozy is like not that much cheaper than this. And I think you're just going to be so much more comfortable in one of these one-person saunas. It still works on a regular outlet. If you plug a vacuum cleaner into the wall, you can run this sauna. So no electrical upgrade. You can pretty much, fit it anywhere. I have one right over there off screen. We'll do some videos for group members later today just to show you. I know people are concerned about the EMF and the build quality and da-da-da. Guys, it's not perfect. It's not low EMF. I never said that it was, but neither is the Costco. People going in there, even with the cheap EMF meters, as soon as they walk in the door, it turns from blue to red. What does that tell you? It means that everyone says that something is low EMF and hardly anyone is delivering on it. And like the owner of Life Pro said, Joel, I love his transparency. He's like, look, we tried to make one even lower EMF, but we just can't at this price point. And the entire market is like that. But I respect the fact that he was very forthcoming about it. And it's like when you test the electric fields of a Life Pro versus the electric fields of a Costco, there's not really any difference. There's some areas in the Life Pro where the magnetic fields are higher, but when you look at the seated body position, you look at the increased performance right now with this discount, Sauna20 discount code, or however long this price lasts for their inventory that they have in stock, you're going to get a better sweat in this thing. So if you have a couple of more milligauss in some area, it's not like you're getting some dramatically lower or better experience, in a Costco sauna. There may be some things that are better about one than another, but when it comes down to it, if your lower half isn't sweating and you're in a little bit less EMF environment, but you're not getting a good detox and you're not getting a good sauna session, what are you really doing? You know what I mean? So it's very difficult for me to balance and judge this because in the under $2,000 price category, there's not a lot of other options, right? If you go up to $2,000 or $3,000, there's other things. But for people that are on a budget, there's nothing on the planet that's close to $1,500 that's going to be this spacious, this nice. Like it looks good. I'll do other videos. If you haven't seen my other YouTube videos, check them out. But this is really just to bring this to you now because the last time I mentioned it, they were sold out like that. And then people, were upset. And I don't have any control over this stuff. It's not my deal. I don't come up with it. So if you're in the market for, an affordable option, I don't think you can really do better than this. The company, has been reliable for me. The products, while not perfect, make you sweat well. And I've even tested this thing in a 60-degree unheated space that we're in right now, and it still performed better than the other options that were about $2,000. So that speaks loudly to me when I check it on the FLIR footage, the FLIR gun, so you can see like where does the actual infrared output, hit the body. This is like the best that you're gonna get, for the money. So, everybody wants the $10,000 stuff for like $2,000. It just doesn't exist. And this is about as close that you're going to get to the performance of something like that. Yes, you have a couple of sacrifices, but for me, it's a buy. You know, if somebody doesn't have a lot of money and they want to get into sauna, this is a great option. If you changed your mind after a year and you're consistent with it, you could always resell it on Marketplace for $1,000 or something, and you know, let somebody else enjoy and upgrade to a bigger one if you move. That's the other thing. A lot of people are in condos, apartments, places where you can't just rip the drywall open and run an electrical line. You know what I mean? With this, you don't have to. And it's not so tight as the mini saunas, right? Now, is it going to perform as well as like a Heavenly Heat Mini? No, but that's like $4,000. We're in a totally different price category. That's like saying that, you know, everything is as great as a $10,000 sauna. Well, no, it's not, because they spend more time on attention to detail and they do this and they do that. But if you want something cheap that actually works, this is it. So I'd highly recommend you check it out if you've been waiting. And for the group members, this is really for you. Just letting you know that I see that they're back in stock. It is on sale. It's a pretty good deal. I don't think you'll do any better.